There you go. And as you get into a comfortable position, let's just rock here for a moment before we become still. So round your spine, hold on to your legs. You can kind of rock back and forth a little bit if you want to, and then lift your heart, open up your throat a little bit, stretching through your chin and your neck, and then back round and rock a little bit, kind of shake your pelvis, shake your shoulders, even shake your head. And then again, up, open your chest, hug your shoulder blade, and then relax. Now let's roll the shoulders a few times here. So just up toward the ears, back and down, just getting some of that range of motion. You might hear a lot of sounds. You might feel a lot of crunches, and that's okay. Go the other direction. Okay, and then bring your hands out to the sides. You can't see my hands, but shake them. Just shake, shake, shake. Back up, see what this is. And then arms up to the sky and spread your hands out. Palms are out toward the walls next to you. Fingertips up, spread open your chest. And then again, big breath. Arms coming out. Feel the back body, feel the shoulder blades, feel the hands. And then release. Okay. Not interlace, but touch your thumbs and your index fingers to each other. And we're going to turn your palms outward and then lift your palms up toward the sky, elbows broad, drop your pinky fingers toward the ground, and then relax. So just some nerve glides to open up the arms and the shoulders. Shoulders broad while you do this, elbows wide. One more time. And shake the hands out. And again, a big reach. And the last thing we'll do before we sit for a moment is a twist. So lift one arm up, bring it to the outside of the knee. Use your other hand to support you. Breathe deeply. And then come back to center. Lift that arm up. Bring your hand to the outside of your knee. Breathe well, shoulders down. All right. And then relax. And again, you can kind of wiggle, do anything that feels good. Now, I know we haven't moved the lower body at all, but just see as you close your eyes and feel your good posture, if there's a little more aliveness, a little more awakeness in the body. So allowing yourself to slowly open toward spring is not something that has to happen in a giant leap. It can happen in baby steps of single breaths. Melt through the base of your skull. Keep the eyes soft and relaxed. Notice the pedestal of your pelvis supporting your spine. Let's breathe into the belly well. Start to pay attention. Are you breathing well? Is it difficult to breathe well? Can you feel the center of your diaphragm drop down and then lift back up? Make room around your heart. Place your hands together at your heart. Go in. Maybe your intention today can be about that slow coaxing open of the mind, the body, the spirit, the emotions, whatever it is that you feel might be sleepy and not quite ready for spring. If you feel like spring is an intrusion somewhere within you, let's go to those places and gently, gently, like you would wake a sleeping child, very gently arouse those parts within you. Let's release the hands and come onto your back. Maybe you're not one of those people that that needs some coaxing to open up for spring. Maybe you are ready to leap. And if that's the case, enjoy the energy, the spring, the wellspring, the kind of fountain of youth kind of spring that might be within you. Okay, so stretch your body, arms overhead, and let's reach one side, reach the other side. Just enjoy the little bit of awakening, let your hips move. So lifting one hip up and then lifting the other hip up, feeling that sense of opening through the whole lateral side of your body. And then walk your feet over to the right and then inch your chest over to the right as well. And you can cross one ankle over the other if you want. You can experiment with which feels better, and you can also leave your feet flat. So breathe. If this is a little pinchy on your right SI joint, back away to any place you need to, but open up the side of your body and imagine that whole side is just awake and alive, letting the sun in. And then come back to center, and we're going to banana our body over to the other side. So moving legs over left, moving torso over left, feeling that sense of reach and space, breathing well. Opening up that side body, and then coming back to center. All right, bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit, swaying through your body. Just feel a sense of nurturing for your sacrum and your low back, especially if there's any pain that you're experiencing there. What can you do to surrender and relax, make room, make space? Bring breath. All right, let's circle the knees, kind of rolling in one direction. And the other direction. And then opening up the knees away from the midline and bringing them back in. Just letting our hips awaken and open. All right, right knee into your chest, left leg on the ground and roll around your ankles. Get some freedom in your feet. So this awakening, that feeling of morning stretch through every little nook and cranny of your body. This is the welcoming of that spring energy, just waking up. Okay, left knee in, right leg long. Feel into the wiggles of your toes. See if you can feel all the bones in your feet. Notice your ankles. And then bring that knee back up. Pull your chin up toward your knees. Give a good squeeze. Start to turn on your core a little bit. And then inhale, spread your limbs wide on the ground. Reach out into your fingers and toes. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Make a lot of space. And then exhale, knees into your chest. Pull your head up. Twice more. Inhale, open up your body. Exhale, close up your body. One more time. Feeling that expansive energy. All the way in with the breath and then all the way out.
right, put your feet on the ground, arms out to the side like a T. And we'll start this very gently, just with some windshield wipering of knees left and right. Feet are wide, maybe to the edges of the mat. Just waking up a little twisting vibe in your body. Okay, bring your knees up toward your chest. Keep your arms where they are. And we're just going to churn the belly a little bit. So you don't have to go far with this, but you can go far. We're going to keep our knees bent. We're going to drop our knees over to one side and then bring them back up and drop your knees over to the other elbow. Now you don't have to go far. You can go 3 inches off your midline, and this can be very good for churning the belly. And then you can go a little deeper over to the side. Be very mindful when you're moving that your back is happy about what you're doing and that you're using your core to support the movement. So feel your obliques wake up, feel your rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominis, all your core muscles are getting involved. How's that breath? Can you feel it move diaphragmatically where you're breathing into the rib cage? All right, and then when you are ready, you can spread out to a star one more time. Stretch your limbs wide. And then knees into your chest. Pick up your head. Okay, before we roll over onto your side, last thing we're going to do, you can either choose to rock side to side, or let me move this way, a little bit of rocking top to bottom. So it doesn't have to be moving into a plow pose. Of course it can if you want to, but just start awakening some mobility in the spine. Okay, so just some gentle rocking. If rocking top to bottom is not comfortable for your spine, rock side to side. All right, make sure you're breathing. All right. And then eventually we're going to roll over onto our side and come up onto your hands and your knees. Okay, so we've already done much to awaken. So let's move our body into some cat-cows. Our beloved cat-cows, probably one of the most essential postures that we can do to keep our spine supple and free. There's something so lovely about, hopefully you can be on your knees comfortably. But even if you can't be on hands and knees comfortably, you can do this against a wall. Anything that's going to help your spine get free. And then wag your tail or move your pelvis in a circle or move your rib cage in a circle, move your head, anything that is really nice for just bringing out some cobwebs in the spine. Remember your breathing. All right, let's curl the toes under and stretch back towards child's pose with your toes curled under and feel the bottom of your feet wake up. See if you can move your ankle bones to touch and then maybe away from each other and toward each other and away. Just letting the bottom of your feet have their time. And then relax that, maybe smack your feet on the ground. Back up onto all fours, finding a fuller twist now. So reaching an arm up, exhale, slide that shoulder underneath, feeling the twist in your body. Only go as far as your spine is ready for. So, remember that sometimes it takes a lot of time to coax yourself open, that the body doesn't have to be open right away. And as we come out of there, face the ground, let your hips drop back towards child's pose a little bit more and stretch the outside of the shoulder capsule. Collarbones stay wide. Full breath. And then inhale, reach that arm back up.
Hand comes down onto the ground. Second side, arm lifts. Exhale, slide that arm under. Breathing deeply. Melt the neck. See if you can have a sense of soft somewhere in your neck and shoulders. Letting the breath travel where it can. And then coming out of there a little bit, so dropping your hips back toward your heels, face the ground with your chest. Your arm comes out a little bit, but it's still underneath you, so you can stretch the back side of the shoulder. And then lift that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. All right, so the beautiful dog pose. See what it feels like to find your first one for today. Maybe you've already done a dog pose today, but just allow yourself to coax this pose open gently. So remember, we're awakening a sleeping child gently and carefully. So we don't want to, slam into our bodies. We want to welcome ourselves into our bodies. So drop one heel, bend a knee. Maybe you like to move faster. Maybe you like to move slower as you knead your feet on the ground like this. Feeling the calves open, starting to feel the hamstrings light up and awaken. Travel the sensation into the pelvis, the spine, and then down into your hands. So we have the sense of yielding, pushing off the ground and finding a full reach through the body. As you feel the reach, can you stay in the yielding ground? Feel the head relax and soften, melt what you can, expand what you can. Find something particular that you love about this posture. Okay, walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana, relax your head, rock it around, wag your tail if you want. Inhale for a halfway lift, create some space. When you're ready, exhale and melt again. Bend your knees a lot, put your hands underneath your feet, palms facing up under your feet, toes all the way to your wrists. Bend your knees, let your head melt. And then see what you can do to lift the chest and sit bones. Only go where your body can go. And then relax and release that. Drop your seat, rise up, bringing the arms to the sky. A big open chest. Lean back if it feels good. Keep that chest broad and open, and then release your hands down. So let's have a little bit of side bend here. You can have your feet hip width apart. Reach up with your grab on with your right hand around your left wrist and reach over and up, and at the same time grounding through your legs. Open up the ribs for breath. Come back, find the other side. Open up the rib cage here. Find the stabilization of your core. Try not to let your back do the work or the side body do the work only from the pull on your arms. We're reaching into your legs. We're stabilizing with your core. Relaxing your neck. And then release your arms. And I want you to kind of bounce. You don't have to jump, but you can jiggle, okay? And you can get on one foot and jiggle. You can jump a little bit or just bounce off the ground. You can shake. All right, and then let's start smacking ourselves. You guys have all done this with me. Okay, so go down your arms. Sometimes doing this on very bare skin can be really good. Okay. Try to get into the feeling of opening up your throat. You can gently tap around your neck, your chest. You can slap, you can cup, you can tap, whatever feels good. Go back up around your head, okay, and your face. Okay, gentle taps. Go down to your ribs, your back body, your armpits, whatever you can kind of feel. Don't forget your belly, your buttocks.
And go down your legs. Front, back, inside, outside. Soles of your feet. Tops of your feet. All right. And just release that. And recognize that you're coaxing your body open. Compare, we haven't even done a single standing pose yet, but just notice, compare how you feel now versus when you started your practice. Are you more embodied? Are you more willing to open yourself up to possibility? Okay, inhale, reach the arms high and wide. Exhale and fold forward. Blocks are nice. Inhale for a halfway lift. Those hands on blocks can give so much space for the body. Exhale and melt to fold. Step your left foot back, right foot forward into a lunge. Expand through your chest, open things up. Let's start to move, straightening and bending your front knee. And you can, if you want, lift your toes off the ground. When you straighten that leg, you can keep it flat. So just finding what works, what's available. Come into your breathing. All right, put your knee down onto the ground, uncurl your toes. Feel the chest rise open. So just feel into that hip flexor stretch. We're going to go there a little deeper in just a moment. Okay, so climb up onto your knee now with your hands. Feel that hip flexor and the back leg open. Now, when we do this, we're not falling and sinking. So feel the support of your legs. Press your front foot and knee into the ground. And then a little deeper, reach the arm up. And we're going to, you can take your elbow on your knee or your hand on a block. And we're going to come over to the side and feel that side body stretch here. Opening up through the hip flexors, the side of the rib cage. And then cross that forearm. We're taking a twist, forearm on your knee or elbow to the outer knee. You decide how deep you want to go, twisting the spine. Ground your big toe into the ground. Feel the collarbone stretch wide and open. All right, and then come back to center. Have the hands on the inside edge of that foot. The back knee can stay on the ground like we've been doing, or if you're ready, you can lift that back knee up off the ground. Extending through the spine here, breathing well. Step that front foot back to dog pose. Let's take your feet wide on the mat and turn your toes in. Feel the release of the inner groin. Stretch your thighs back. Feel the sit bones lift. With this really wide-legged stance, let's come forward into a plank. Okay, so feel that you're big, that you take up a lot of space, that you're stable and strong on the ground. Breathing well. We're going to put our knees down, find the ground. Let's roll the shoulders a couple of times here. And then lift up, open to a cobra. Melt on your exhales. Twice more. Inhaling to rise up. Exhaling to come down. Enjoy the back body strength. Lifting on up. Wake up. Wake up. And then relax. Coming onto all fours, release the back bend, let your hips sway, move your spine however you want to move your spine. Okay. Curl the toes under, a dog pose. Full breath here. When you're ready, left foot comes forward to a lunge. Grounding through your legs, opening up through your chest, hands on blocks.
Start to move when you feel ready. If you want to lift your toes as you tuck your chin and straighten your leg, great. And if you want to keep your toes on the ground, awesome. Move with your breath. Place your knee down. Open your chest up. I feel that sense of opening through the hip flexor on that back leg. Feel your breathing. Shoulders down. Start to climb up, hands on your knee. When we get up off the blocks, we have to be even more conscious of that self-support so we're not sinking and falling. And then a little deeper of a stretch, opening up through the side of your body. Lean over a little bit to the left. Open your ribs. Find your full breathing. Soften the shoulders, ground those legs. Turn this into a twist when you're ready. Elbow to the outside of the knee or forearm on your knee. Spread open your collarbones, hug your inner thighs to the midline. Stay grounded through your big toe mound and the front foot heel. And then come back around, put your hands on the inside edge of that left foot. Your back knee can stay down on the ground, or you can lift your back knee up off the ground. Shoulders away from the ears, breathing deep. All right. Back to a dog pose, this time a neutral dog pose, feet hip width apart. Okay, come forward into a regular plank pose. Finding the breath. We're going to turn the belly over to the right. Back to center. Turn the belly over to the left. One more time each side, belly turning. Back to center. Belly turning the other way. Neutral. Plank pose, put your knees down, and we're going to do this on 2 blocks first, then we'll try it later on the ground. So put your hands on 2 blocks. Now, if you know your wrists are unhappy, you can always dangle your fingers off the front of your blocks instead of having your palms flat on the blocks. All right, we're going to come up onto the tops of our feet and lift up into up dog. So just our hands and our feet are on the ground. Open the chest, breathing deeply, unlock your elbows, and then put your knees back down onto the ground and do a cat-cow through your spine or swish your spine. Whatever feels good. Come to lie down on your belly, bring your left knee up high toward your armpit. Okay, come low with your torso on the ground. We're going to turn this into a twist. Cross that arm, right arm over. We're going to twist open. Let your left leg leave the ground as much as you want to. Feel the chest expand. All right, of course, there's a spinal twist here, but focus on what's happening in your chest. Move that left arm wherever you want it to be, to find the opening across your pecs that is best for you today. Okay, rolling back to center. Bring the other knee high up. Let this nurture your back for a moment. Stay low in your torso. And then we're going to cross the left arm over to the right. Feel into that open twist. Allow your right arm to spread open, feeling the right pec expand, and just experiment. Where do you want your chest to feel this? How is your breathing? Come back around, up onto all fours. Swish And sway your spine, moving any bit. Okay, as you feel ready, climb up to dog pose again. Spine extends. Let's lift the right leg up in the air, stack open your hip over the other. You can bend your knee or you can straighten it, whichever feels nice. And then put that foot down onto the ground. Second side. Lift up through your left leg. You can bend your left knee or you can keep it straight. Feel into the breath. Try not to collapse through the right side of your body. And then square your hips again. Bring your right foot forward. Come on up as you feel ready. Crescent lunge. Okay, so expand open. Finding the breath. Lifting the arms where you want them to be. Could be out, could be up. We're going to interlace your hands behind your back. Bend your back knee some so you're not locking it out. Open across your chest and shoulders. Try to stabilize through your core. We're going to lean forward here with the arms still down. Lift the head of the arm bones. Spine gets longer. Okay, unlock your arms. Swing them out, back up again. Hands come down onto the ground. Back foot comes forward. Hold. Uttanasana. Relax your neck. A halfway lift. Exhale. Other foot steps back. Our left foot is forward. Ground your legs. Come up to crescent lunge when your body feels ready. Okay, so take your time to get your balance, to find your breath again. Root into the legs, and at the same time feel open and spacious in the heart. And interlace your hands the opposite way. Put the other finger on top. Stretch open your chest, bend the back knee so that you're not compressing the low back and blocking the knee. Feel the front side of your shoulders open. And then lean forward. Keep those arms where they are. Unlock the elbows, unlock the back knee. Stretch the head of your arm bones up toward the sky, crown and tail long. Unlock your arms. Reaching upward again, crescent lunge one more time. Hands coming down to the ground, back foot comes forward, fold. Rising on up to a place where you feel good, so you can always squeeze into the midline if you need some support with getting your blood pressure equalized. You're going to stand on your right leg. Root, so you can always use balance support if you need it. We're going to hold on to our left ankle. You can wrap a strap around your ankle if you can't reach your foot. Find a drishti, a gaze spot. Descend the tail. Lift the pubic bone. And when you're ready, lift your right arm up. And we're going to tip forward into dancer pose. Hips are square. Feel into the joy of stretching your quad. Feel the length of the spine. Relax the base of your skull. Feel your core. Come back up. Bring your knee back up, still standing on one leg. 2 arms up to the sky. If you need to tap your foot, do that. And then come back, twisting, arms open. Big breaths. And then release that foot down as you come back to center. Pause here for a moment. And stretch the other quadriceps, so you can grab a strap around your foot if you need to. You can hold on to something if you need to. Be mindful that we're not locking into the hips. You don't want to sway your hip out like this. Hug it in. The knee is soft. Descend the knee, descend the tail, lift the pubic bone toward the belly button. Reach your arm up. Be mindful of your neck and shoulders staying relaxed. Soften your gaze. Start to tip forward, and if your balance is off, that's okay. Just be where you are. Feel your breath. Doesn't matter, I'm not tipping very far forward because that's just where I need to be today. So just notice how far you want to be. Okay, and then come back up. Bring your knee up to the sky, arms up, twisting to the right. Left thigh bone is back, the knee is soft, lift the crown. Back to center, place that foot down, fold forward. Uttanasana. Relax here, soften your neck. Wag your tail. The halfway lift. Melt again. We're going to step the left foot back, the right foot is forward. Plant your back heel down onto the ground now and rise up into Virabhadrasana 1. Now your arms can interlace and be up high. Maybe you'd rather have your hands on your hips and be leaning forward a little bit more, or your arms back. So find the pathway of opening that your body is ready for. Chest opening and expanding as best as you can find. And release the hands down, hop up into half splits. Feel that work of your legs come up onto your tippy toes. Lift that leg high. Descend the heel without descending the hips. See if you can feel that big stretch in the hips. Square hips. Inner thigh of that left leg lifting. Exhale, Jiva squat. Tuck in. Squeeze your belly. Everything squeezes out. And then inhale, half lift again. Place your foot down onto the ground, melt. Step your right foot back, left foot is now forward. Ground through your feet. Come on up to your version of Virabhadrasana 1. Extend open through your chest, lean up if you can. Find, and your pose might be here where you're leaning forward more to protect your back. So whatever kind of chest expansion is available while protecting, then supporting the lumbar spine. All right, release the hands down onto the ground. Walk your blocks forward, come into half splits. All right, now lift the left hip up, square the hips, stretch that right leg strongly in the air. When you feel ready, come up onto your left tippy toes, keep the hip lifting. And then slowly start to descend the heel without losing that lift that you found in the hip. Okay, on your next in breath, extend. And as you exhale, squat in. Use your core, squeeze everything. Inhale, push out straight. Exhale, foot down onto the ground. Uttanasana. A halfway lift. Melt and fold. Last dog pose, extending through the spine. Okay, come forward into a plank. And then lower yourself down to child's pose. So come to rest. All right, so we're going to do a couple of restorative back bends. So take a rolled blanket or unroll, have an open blanket and then roll it If you feel very expansive, you can put 2 blankets, one on top of the other, and roll them together. So your choice whether you want 1 blanket or 2 rolled up. Okay, so we're just creating a blanket roll. Okay, we're gonna have this in 3 different positions. And you can put a block under your head if you need that, okay, or another blanket. We're gonna start with the blanket kind of in between our shoulder blades, but kind of high up toward the spine of the shoulder blade. All right, so remember, you can always do lots of choices with your arms and your legs. You can have your arms here, just up. You can bring your arms over your head. You can have your elbows holding on with your hands and put your forearms on your forehead or over your forehead. You can cactus the arms. You can tee your arms so they're straight out to the sides. You can have your arms anywhere that's pleasing to the shoulder sockets and keeping a sense of openness across the chest. Your legs can be bent, knees in the air, feet on the floor, or your legs can be straight. So decide your pathways here and breathe. So remember, we're slowly coaxing open. Imagine that you are a seed that's been watered, so it's softened and it's ready to open up to sprout some shoots. And along with shoots, we need roots. So see if you can also feel that sense of grounding, where we have our pelvis on the ground, your head supported. The breath is what gives us life in this posture. Melt your head. Okay, and then our next place, and you can stay longer if you want, is a little bit lower down on the shoulder blades, but we're still supported by shoulder blade, where you can get all the way to the bottom tip of the shoulder blade if you want, but you just don't want to be lower than your shoulder blade. So just make sure you feel a little bit of your shoulder blades underneath or on top of that bolster, along with your ribs. Okay, so squirm around until you find the perfect spot. Knees bent, knees straight, arms in any of those positions. And you may find that you need a different position here than you did before. Start to feel the tendrils of your diaphragm start to open here. Adjust the blanket a little lower, a little higher. Breathe deeply. Heavy head, heavy pelvis. Starts to feel that your belly is breathing now, not just the ribs, but you have that good abdominal breath. All right, now our third position here is to take the blanket underneath our pelvis. Now, if you'd rather, you can use a block instead of, if you want to switch out for a little extra height, you can put a block under your pelvis instead of this blanket. And if you're using the blanket, for sure, do try this. But if a block, just kind of see how your body is. See if you can straighten your legs. So we're now letting the hip flexors, the psoas open up. You can put your hands on your low belly if you want. See if you can breathe into your abdomen. All right, and then just where you are on the blanket or block, you might need to move it up or down or wherever.
And we're gonna bring our knees toward our chest. And just feel into countering some of that pose. You can turn your head from side to side. Notice the freshness in your breathing, capacity to feel into your lungs and belly. Okay, legs coming straight up in the air for a moment. You might need to adjust. You might even want to switch the blanket out now for a block if that feels better to your body. So whatever feels good, just getting a little bit of grounding. All right, knees back toward the chest. And then place your feet on the floor to get the support out from underneath your pelvis. A simple twist, hips over right, knees come up and drop left. Breathe well. Every posture gives you a different opportunity to experience your breath. What is the opportunity here? Can you melt your neck and shoulders? Back to center. Scoot your hips over to the other side. Come back to center. Reverse pigeon pose, thigh over thigh pose, something to stretch your hips. So decide what that's going to be for you for today. When you get into whatever position you're going to be in, notice if you're able to relax. Do you need to shift anything? Do you need to support anything? Do you want to be still? Do you want to be a little rocking? What feels best to your body? Is there a way for you to melt the diaphragm, to melt the skull? Can you keep your sit bones wide? All right, let's change to the other side. So any support that you need under your head, anything, make sure that you are relaxed in your neck and shoulders. Is your breath able to deepen? Relax. When you feel ready, there's no rush to be done. Any posture for Shavasana. You can take support and lay down on your back with your knees supported in Supta Baddha Konasana for Shavasana if you want. You can have your knees up on a bolster. You can be flat on the ground. Anything that feels really good in the body. If you're at all cold, make sure you get warm. Breathe your way here. Melt your limbs, including your head. Try to reduce any restriction you have to breathing. Eventually, bring ourselves slowly into the awareness of the space around us. So take your time. Start with your breath. Let your breath deepen. Start to move the body. It can be small little movements. It can be bigger movements. Eventually, coming up to sit. So notice the gifts of your practice. Are you a little more available for the openness of your own internal spring? Can you lift your heart just a bit? Offer your energy, send your care to another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.